Welcome to the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA's cable TV show. We come to you once a week, and we want to thank you for tuning in. My name is Scott DeLucchi. I'm our Senior Vice President, Community Relations, and I'm joined by
Malu Trehan, Outreach Coordinator.
And we're here in front of the Cat's Inn. If you've been a fan of the show, you've noticed that we don't always film our show in the studio. It's kind of nice to get out and around, and we're here at the Cat's Inn. It's a cat boarding facility in Belmont. You'll hear much more about that when we go inside. Back with our guest star, Jamie Brewer, who is the co-owner of the Cat's Inn. He and his wife, Maggie, co-own the Cat's Inn, and we want to thank you for being our guest.
Well, thank you for having me.
And if Jamie looks familiar, it's because some of you may have seen him. We learned during the break that he's part of the Whispers. It's a group that's been around since you said 1968. Mm-hmm. So they have some songs. We know you've heard of Rock Steady, Rockin' All Night Long. You guys, how often do you perform now with that?
Pretty much every weekend, 2-3 nights a week. And we travel internationally and nationally, so we're out there somewhere.
So we're going to have people that are when you're watching there and say, I want that guy's life. I mean, here is a musician in a group that I just got blasted by the cat here. That he's a rock star on the side, and he's got another career where he gets to help animals, and we're going to talk about that. But the first thing I noticed when I walked in is this place doesn't smell at all. I mean, it's just immaculate. And for the people out there who may be considering boarding their cat, I think that's one of the first things they'd probably want to know is, how clean is it? And I mean, I don't smell anything here. How do you do that?
Surprise.
Well, we have a nice ventilation system, and we also use Eco Air, which is an air purifier. So we keep it smelling this way all the time, because if you walk in here and you're like, man, this place doesn't smell right, then you're not going to board your cat. So that's priority one. Yeah. Let's make sure it's clean and it smells right. So.
Well, I was amazed. I mean, is that what you noticed too?
I'm impressed too, because I have cat allergies and I'm not even having any symptoms so far. So it's been kept pretty clean here.
Yeah. So we're seeing all sorts of things around us. You see cages, kind of like you see in the Peninsula Humane Society shelter. We have some other things that I know you probably saw earlier, some of what Jamie calls the cat walks. Cats like to be on different levels, so you'll see cats walking around. One of them just about jumped on my back. He was up here on the towels just hanging out. Now, why are some of the cats out and some are in? Do you rotate them, or I mean, how does that work?
Yes, it depends on the cat, So if we have cats that are socialized, they get roam of the place wherever they want to go, upstairs, downstairs, whatever they want to do.
On your shoulder?
On my shoulder, that's right, as you saw. And then we have cats that like to be in the playroom, but by themselves. There's a few of them in there right now, so they don't want to socialize with other cats, but they want to come out and see people, like one-person cats, So if your cat socialized, and a lot of times we socialize with the other cats, that are already roaming about, and then next thing you know, they're all hanging out, So we do that. We let them hang out as long as they want till it's time to eat.
Yeah.
And Jamie, you were mentioning before the show started that you try to create an atmosphere that feels like home, right? It's just a little bit less stressful for the cats.
Absolutely, because then they can get away to their own place, So, like when we took over the business, it didn't have the catwalk, it didn't have all these little cats, painted on here, or the murals, or a lot of the things that you see here now. So we decided to make it more like the Cat's Inn, a home, a little hotel getaway. So we have the little glass partition up here so that people can see the cats as they walk by. And, if you see the cats up on the perches, we just wanted to feel more like home. And the owners feel comfortable if they feel like their cats feel like they're at home here.
So tell us how you got started, how long have you had this business, what led you into this path?
Well, actually, it was a blessing, because we had actually looked to open up a doggy daycare. And we had tried through the city, continuously to try to open up daycare, but there was some zoning issues. So I came in here to have my cat's nails done, and the previous owner said that, I asked her, how'd you get started? And she says, well, my business is up for sale. And I said, well, let's go home and do the numbers. And now you have, this is the result of going home and saying, you know what, we're animal lovers, and we'd love to be a part of this and contribute, So we took it over, and we just, we improved upon an idea, and we have really grown by 50%, since we've taken over in about 2 years.
How do you promote the business? Are you advertising, or is it mostly word of mouth, or?
It's everything. We did mass marketing from the beginning. We sent out, thousands of mailers. We did movie advertising. We had people place flyers on cars, and then the website, thecatsnca.com. So we have lots of advertisement, and we just said that's the main thing. We need to let people know that we're out here. So that's what we did. We just said.
What's your capacity here? How many cats can be here at the same time?
Well, we can have as many as 50, 60 cats,
San Mateo County's largest cat house. I was waiting to say that. All the jokes so we can...
Yes, that's right. And so, and we have plenty of space, and it's comfortable, and, we pretty much maintain a large number of cats,
What would you say is the requirements that you would want to know in advance for if you're interested in boarding your cat? What would you like them to be prepared with?
Things like current on vaccinations.
The current shots, definitely. FERCP is the most important, so we have to have that shots before you can even come in, because we want to protect the cats, and a lot of times we get people say, well, my cats have been, at home. It says, well, yeah, but we still want to protect your cat as well, so we have to have the minimum, the FERCP shots.
Okay. And then what about, for instance, holidays get really busy? Some places, boarding facilities require you to check in well in advance, or to at least put the reservation.
We tell people to do this all the time, but it's one of those things where at the last minute, we'll end up getting a lot of calls, and some people who have been with us for a while know to call way in advance, like a year in advance,
For the holidays,
for
particularly.
The holidays, yeah, because we'll have waiting lists for up to 50 people sometimes.
Oh my goodness!
What a nice position. I'm sure there are many people at home who have cats. Maybe you have one or two cats, and if you go away on vacation, either you're fortunate enough to have someone in your family that sticks around that can provide, the companionship, and other people may, you pay a neighborhood kid to come in and feed your cat. Now, why is this? Why would you say this is better than that option, where you have someone maybe comes in for 5 minutes to feed the cat? What are the advantages that this kind of environment has over just that kind of system?
Well, the advantages to that is that, for one, you have an intimate interaction between, the people who work here, and what they'll do is we'll take the cats into the playroom, or they can walk around us, they can follow us around, and a lot of times they just want to be touched, every now and then, they're independent, but, every now and then, like you see, they'll come around and just want to say, meow. Yeah. And that means I'll pet you, okay, and then they'll go on along their way. So, they like to know somebody's there, and then they're like, okay, I'm off, and do my own thing now.
Yeah, it's hard to replace that companionship. I think
you have to have that companionship. That's what the cat starts to feel like he's at home.
It doesn't take us more than 2 or 3 minutes to know an animal person when we see one, and it's obvious that Jamie loves animals, that his staff really cares about animals. To me, that makes all the difference. There are a lot of businesses out there, but this kind of business needs to be a business that's also very caring too, because your clients are going to tell, and like we were able to tell in 5 minutes, if you're here just for the money or if you're here because you love animals.
Absolutely. You can't do this business just for the money, because the first time you get scratched, you're out of here. Yeah. But all of us have battle scars. Yeah. We'll have claws, and we'll continue to work, even though we have, because we know the cat is not intentionally doing this to you. They're just afraid, and then when they know you, then it's okay.
So do you do a screening process before you take in a cat, or if they're kind of borderline in behavior, you might have them in a differdifferent area?
Well, yes.
Timeout area?
Yeah.
For them?
Yes, we do have timeouts. Sometimes the playroom is timeout.
That's a nice little spot.
Yeah, so what we'll